Hey, it's Tanner Howe, Captain of Regina Pats, and you're listening to Pats Cast with Chris and Kevin.
The pass intercepted. Spencer over the blue line for Regina. He'll shoot. Score! Spencer with speed over the line on the right wing side. Rips it far side on Hildebrand. Now a pass to Whitehead at center. Over the Prince Albert line. Stops the left circle. On his backhand centers it. Wilson shoots. Score! Anthony Wilson with his 8th of the season.
And how about that pass from Braxton Whitehead, Dante?
Buchkowski holds it in, feathers it deep. All in back of the Raiders net, centers it in front. Vaughn scores! And welcome back, Jackson Vaughn. He's got his 15th of the season. What a centering pass from Corbin Ullman, who is now on a 3-game point streak. Slaney will fire the puck off the draw in around the Prince Albert boards. It squeaks into the middle. Howe shoots, he scores! It's your captain, Tanner Howe, with his team-leading 27th of the year. Mushimansky around the Moose Jaw zone to the right point. He'll leave it there for Vaughn. Right circle, shoots, scores! What a bullet by Corbin Vaughn! One of the prettiest goals I've ever seen a defenseman score. He's got his 4th of the season.
Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. This is our episode for March 17th. It's episode 169. It's Chris here, Kevin there. How we do tonight, Kev?
Not too bad. It was kind of a up and down weekend, but for an non-playoff team, the Friday night game was good. Sunday really didn't pay that close of attention because we were dealing with our awards that Dante wanted us to announce on the air and stuff, and getting ready for our post-game interview. So didn't really watch the second game super close.
No, and it was a Moose Jaw, and you're coming in, you're thinking, well, this is going to be a tough game to win anyways. And, it was 3-2 in the third period. It wasn't a blowout. But then
it was close, and then the dagger.
Yeah, kind of Moose Jaw, ran away with it a little
Jagger
bit.
by Jagger.
Yeah. Jagger and Jaeger.
Yes, but Jagger was the one that put the dagger in.
Yeah.
In the heart.
Actually, you kind of mentioned it tonight. What if we got Jaeger instead of Bedard, right? Like a season of him this year, a season of him probably next year.
Yeah. Would have been a totally different situation.
Yeah.
But that's
he looks
that's the
so
breaks.
good. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
We loved and enjoyed having Connor here, Connor Bedard here.
We mentioned that before, right? Wouldn't
But
change it, but
if the number wouldn't have come up, how the rebuild would have been different. It would have been so different.
Yeah.
There would have been no super huge excitement. Maybe the prices wouldn't have gone so crazy. Who knows, right?
Yeah. No, for sure, right? Him and Height, either of them would have been
Exactly.
a nice addition. I think obviously you've seen Jaeger more, but I think I like his game a little more. But that's just personal opinion.
I would take either one of them right now.
Yeah.
But for what we had with Connor Bedard and the legacy he left here, it's going to be okay if the next couple of years suck.
Yeah.
Like this year is kind of sucky. Next year, hopefully be better. I'm sure the team is going to look a little more different. They're going to keep quite a bit of the core, but there's going to be a few acquisitions.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about that in a future episode or two.
Yeah, Miller's still going to work his.
Oh yeah,
his
he
stuff,
still
so.
has to put a stamp on the team.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll talk about this later on in the next couple episodes. So we should get back to the PA game on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, PA's battling. Technically, they're still battling for a playoff spot. I mean, they aren't guaranteed a spot yet, but I mean, it's still, well, they lost the next night in Brandon, Saturday. I don't know if they played. I don't think they played tonight, did they? Sunday. No, they didn't play tonight. But PA is only 3 points up on Calgary with 3 to go. So that was a tough weekend for PA.
Yeah, so they're still battling.
Yeah, and for the Pats to come out and play
a little bit of spoiler.
Yeah, play just a solid game, like the whole game.
Yeah.
I talked to Brad. I'll throw some comments in. And he had a few quick comments after this game, and he wasn't too happy with the first. But I mean, overall, I think it was a good game for the Pats.
Yeah, for sure. 5 different goal scorers. It was a good game. Like it's fun watching these kind of games. Like both teams were competitive. There was some hits, some rough stuff and stuff. It was good. I wish the Pats played like that all the time.
I know, right? It's kind of hit and miss, and
more of a consistent basis.
Yeah,
like we keep on talking about ups and downs and Jekyll and Hydes. It would be nice if it was consistent. Hopefully, they can build on that for next year.
Definitely, right.
Just get some consistency from game 1 to game 68.
Well, I think maybe the story of the game was Pine. He played real well. Like he's been up and down. And what did you say? He hasn't won a game in almost 2 months.
Yeah, he hadn't won since I think it was January 13th or something like that.
Yeah,
so it was a long time coming. He only started like 6 or 7 games in that time frame. But gee, to go 2 months without a win, that's got to hurt. No matter if you play 2 games or if you play 20.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it was just nice to see him with a nice rebound kind of game there.
He made some really nice saves.
Yes, there was a couple key ones, second, third period as well, that kept the game, out of reach for PA. And then a little rough stuff. Vaughn's getting into it again and stuff, and
the boys.
Actually, Allman even stepping up. I can't remember who got hit.
Mushimansky got hit to the boards and got little bit of a pulverizing in the corner, and Ullman stepped in.
Yeah, you like to see that, the young guys stepping in and sticking up for their teammates and stuff. So that was nice to see.
And the guy that did it was Goldsmith. So there's a little bit of a history with the Pats and him.
Yeah, that's for sure. The goal scorers, like you talked about 5 different goal scorers. You got Spencer, Wilson, Vaughn, Howe, and then Whitehead with the empty netter. But
basically the guys that need to score.
Yeah, Wilson, he's up to 8 goals this season. Didn't really know what to expect with him coming over, but he's looked pretty good so far, and
he's just been snake bitten. He's had games where he showed flashes of being like a star, but he just can't buy a goal.
Yeah,
and he actually scored again on Sunday too. So it's nice to see back-to-back games with a point or a goal for him.
Definitely, and the Sunday, not to jump ahead to it, but the Sunday goal was nice. Like it was kind of a bouncing puck, and he just swatted it backhand
out of midair.
Yeah, like that's a really nice goal.
It's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, Vaughn's goal is really, he was standing wide open in the slot, but it was a great pass by Allman just to hit him on the tape, and boom, it was in the back of the net just like that. So that's nice to see. And Spencer opening goal, nice shot just on a 3-on-1, and Howe with just finds the top corner. It wasn't the prettiest shot, I don't think. It was kind of a weak one, but he just found the right spot.
It was in the perfect spot. Hildebrand couldn't touch it. One of the stories of the game was the Pats getting too many men on the ice penalties. I don't remember the last time that's happened to the Pats, but it was like too many men. It's like, what?
Well, and then again Sunday, were they on the power play and 2 guys jumped off the ice and Moose Jaw walked in on a breakaway?
Yes.
So that was a little discombobulation there as well. And instead of taking a penalty, they give up a breakaway.
Yeah.
But
I guess when you have like 27 or whatever guys on your lineup and you got to move guys around, playing different pairings and stuff like that, you're trying to figure out your power play units and stuff. And like I said, neither one of us really watched the Sunday game that closely, so stuff like that sticks out.
Yeah. It was just kind of funny to see. All you see is 2 guys jump off the ice, and the puck is just laying there, and the Moose Jaw guy walks in with a breakaway from the blue line, but he made the save on that one. Yeah, but it was just it was just hilarious, I thought. But anyways, what else you got from PA? That was just nice to see a game back at home,
win
and
ending a 7-game losing streak. It was nice. It's always nice to see a win. Like the Pats are unbelievably decent at home, unbelievably brutal on the road. So if they wouldn't have been so brutal on the road, they might be battling for a playoff spot. But it is what it is. It seems like everybody's accepted it and kind of have kind of not mailed it in, so to speak, but they've accepted it and they're just playing out the string.
Playing it out, yeah. And I talked to Brad about that. He had a comment about that as well. He's the motivator. Like, he's trying to get the best out of these guys as he can, and down these last few games that, you know, don't mean anything for the team per se, but they mean something to everybody in some sort of way, right? So
yeah, they're playing for next year.
Playing for next year, playing for a job. Guys that, you know, aren't back for sure, like the 20s, like they're, you know, playing for something.
Yeah, if they're wanting to continue hockey, they want to get some looks,
Yeah,
university or whatever, or they're just gonna go play some senior like the Lumsden Monarchs or something.
yeah. Hey, they got pretty big crowds and pretty big 50-50s there.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, this senior hockey, if you want to play senior hockey, Saskatchewan seems to be the place to play it. There's some
Definitely
pretty big crowds and
a little bit of cash for you, not, you know,
little
cover your
some
sticks
old
and gas.
former Stanley Cup champions playing in the senior A and stuff. It's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been following it a bit here lately, but yeah. And you got anything else from PA?
No, I think that's it for that
All
one.
right. We'll listen to a couple comments from Brad. It's just me after the game as usual, and yeah, so listen to him now.
Hi, Coach. It's nice to be back under the orange shop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's we have a heck of a lot better record here, and we like playing in front of our fans.
What did you like out there tonight?
I liked Kelton Pine. I thought Kelton Pine had a heck of a game. I thought in the first period, we just didn't have much rhythm in the game, and we didn't have our best period. And I thought Kelton was a big part of the game tonight and holding us in until the second period. We think we played really well in the second period and a lot in the third period. But yeah, I thought he was a big difference in the game tonight, and he let us establish our game and get our boys going.
It seemed like scoring was spread out tonight. What did you like from the forwards?
Yeah, that's exactly it. We got lots of guys we got a lot of young guys that can score goals, and it's just about them getting chance and more experience. And a lot of times it's just them playing in the area of the game which they're good at. And a lot of young guys, they're good at from the top of the circles down. And we were able to establish a cycle in the second and into the third period. In the first period, we got away from that, and we got lots of guys that can make plays in the cycle. It's just a matter of us playing at the goal line.
Seemed to be a little physical again tonight. Again, it seems like your team likes to play that way.
Yeah, it's something that we push in all the time about us being physical, just competing. It's nothing that we're trying to run anybody out of the building. I don't think we're really built that way, but we want to be competitive and we want to stick our nose in there. And if we get beat, we want to stick our nose in there again and just keep on that relentless, keep on coming back for more attitude.
Do you like seeing a young guy like Allman step up there for a teammate late in the game there?
Yeah, those two are pretty close and they're real good buddies. So no, that's a piece that's an element to which Corbin can bring to his game. He's a hard player. He plays in the hard areas, and that's why he's going to score goals in this league, because he plays in those special areas. And so he's not as scared at all to stick his nose in there when it's at the right times.
What do you say to the team now that they're out of the playoffs? Is there any motivation for you to give them?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a full-time job for me, and these boys want to make this a full-time job. So absolutely there's something to play for, me to get another contract, for these guys to have spots next year. Yeah, we don't have playoffs, but we have a standard and we have an organization that we owe a lot of effort and our best effort, and fans too. So yeah, we got a lot of things to be motivated for, and this is just a piece of what we're going through right now, but it's going to get better.
All right, so into Sunday and Moose Jaw, and the Pats, hit up Moose Jaw after the U.S. road trip, and it wasn't the greatest game, but tonight, like we said, we didn't watch it too closely. Moose Jaw gets out to the 3-goal lead, and you're thinking, all right, this is kind of over, right? But you got to give them credit. Vaughn gets one, and Rowan gets one early in the third, and okay, this is a game, and then like you said, Fergus Jagger put the dagger in and picked up a couple there and finished them off.
Well, Moose Jaw was playing their 3rd and 3.
That's true, yeah.
And it just goes to show you how much better Moose Jaw is. Like, you look at the standings, of course. They're like, what, 40 points ahead of the Pats kind of thing. But they're just that much better.
Yeah,
now.
and they're locked into their spot in 3. They can't move up, and they're not going to drop down. So they're kind of just cruising.
They didn't take it. Yeah, they didn't really take it to the Pats, but they didn't really sit back either. They played.
Yeah. I mean,
They just have too many guns. They got Jaeger and Savoy and Calvert and Furcus, and on defense they got Matejchuk.
Yeah.
Any team that has Matejchuk or a Matejchuk type is gonna outskate a team that doesn't have much for offensive-minded defensemen or defensive-minded defensemen sometimes.
Yeah, and like you said, it was all the big guns tonight scoring, right? It's tough. Like you give up a couple power play goals, so that that doesn't help either.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get many chances on the power play against Moose Jaw. They just don't take penalties, and
referees don't give them penalties either. Not complaining about the officiating, but there was a few that were
yeah,
100% missed calls. Like the referees were watching the play and they just let stuff happen. So it's like,
yeah,
it is what it is. It's WHL officiating. I've been watching them, and I know it's never going to get better. It's not going to get any worse. The people keep on saying, "Oh, it's the worst ever." No.
Yeah.
Go back to the era where there was one referee and there was a line brawl pretty much every second game.
And the hooking and the holding,
and the hooking, the holding, the slashing, the brawls and everything.
Yeah.
So this is nothing. Like people are complaining because teams are getting 3 power plays to like 3 or 4 or 5 power plays. There was an era where teams would get like 8, 9, 10 a game.
Yeah.
So people settle down. That's my rant for the day.
Actually, just looking at the box score, Regina only had 2 shots on net in that third.
No, that's not right. The final shots were 36-24. So whoever didn't put that in properly.
You know what it is? It's just the goals.
Yeah, it's just the goals. They didn't put the shots in.
Yeah. Okay. That was like 2 shots. Like
no, they had more than 2 shots because they scored twice.
It's true. Yeah. Like I said, wasn't watching too close, but I was like 2 shots. That didn't seems kind of odd.
They didn't update it.
Then because I look at Moose Jaw, they only had 3. So
yeah. Yeah, it's the scorekeepers screwed up or whatever.
Yeah.
It happens.
Definitely. But yeah,
especially this year. There's going to be some scoring changes. There's been scoring changes pretty much every game for every team this year. It's just been unbelievable.
Definitely. So, I don't know. Not much else about that one. It really is just Pat's just playing it out. Moose Jaw's just playing it out, and it wasn't a bad game.
Lots of guys seem to be playing hard. Like it wasn't like they didn't stop playing. It's just that Moose Jaw's a step ahead. Yeah. It's just how it is.
Yep.
Couple weakish goals, not on the goalie specifically, but breakdowns, guys getting wide open in front of the net.
Yep.
Just happens. Bad bounces. That's what happens when you're not a good team.
Well,
you get the bounces against.
The one goal he put off Huey's head. Like he was on the goal line and he just puts it up off the back of Huey's head. Like what? That's a great try. Even to try that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If Huey was about 3 inches taller, he probably would have stopped it.
Yeah.
Might have hit him in the shoulder.
Yeah. No.
That's the problem with being not so tall.
For a guy with 50 plus goals, like he's just going to try anything, right? Like
exactly. It's just like something like Bedard would have done last year. Just
I think he put one off a guy's back before.
Pucks on net. Doesn't matter where.
From where.
From behind the goal line. You never know.
Yeah.
Could get a bounce.
No, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, that's about that. I don't think I have really much else. Didn't bother.
It was what it was. It is what it is.
Yep. I mean, I was going to say, I was going to say earlier was we've seen worse Moose Jaw Regina games.
Oh, definitely.
This year.
Even the last year too. There's been some pretty bad ones.
So this was a decently entertaining game, at least.
Yeah. In the crowd, there was a decent crowd. It was loud. There was a bunch of kids in the crowd. So
yeah, you hear the old fight chant as the players tangled up, and you hear all the kids just screaming. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I didn't even bother interviewing anybody after this game. I don't think anybody wanted to talk about this one. So
yeah, what do you say? Like there's 3 games left after. It's like, what are you gonna do for the next game, and what are you gonna do to improve? It's like they're literally playing out the string. Like it's just.
Yeah, and I mean we're not going to put anything nothing. Nobody wants to hear that stuff in the show here either, and there's no other.
But why? Yeah.
Again, so.
Well, there's no media there, like other media, other than you would have talked to somebody usually. So, what's the point of asking Brad the same kind of questions when they lose?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do for next game, or how do you feel with that loss? It's like,
we should us better. They beat us.
yeah, exactly.
I didn't like this. I didn't like that. We got to work on it.
Yeah.
Right, so
with 3 games left,
I'm not going to put
it
them
is
through
what it
that.
is.
Right.
Exactly. Like, there's no point.
Like Friday was a win, so you talk about
something to ask about. So
positive stuff there. So
yeah, exactly. Try to keep it as positive as possible.
Yeah. So then the story of the day was we released our awards balloting. So our award winners for the season, 3rd annual PatsCast Awards.
Yeah, Dante was super pumped to have us on the air to do it today too. So
yeah, he asked us to do it on the air, so that was kind of cool. Like, we weren't planning to do it. Like, we didn't ask him or anything. He heard that we were doing it, so he's like, yeah, come on and do it on the air. So
yeah, we were gonna hold off until the end of the season or whatever, and
just release it. And
so happens that Dante was wanting us to do it on the air, so we did it.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And Postey chimed in with his comments on our award winners, so it was kind of neat. And there is some genuine reaction from Drew and Dante because we didn't tell them the winners. Yeah,
wow. No. Dante knew 2, partially 3, but the rest he had no idea. So there is some genuine surprise. You can't see his look on the radio, but there was a little bit of surprise in his.
That's good.
In his reactions. So.
And obviously, there was a couple awards that were pretty obvious, but the rest of them were pretty close.
Yeah.
So that was kind of neat. So, but we're gonna play that for you right now. You get the whole intermission audio from Dante. He sent it to us, so we're gonna play that, and you can hear our award winners right now.
Welcome back inside the Brand Center. It's the Leader Post second intermission show continuing from the press box. Dante Caria joined with Drew Postey, Kevin Shaw, and Chris Clark as we've got our seasonal awards courtesy of the WHL PatsCast. And of course, this coming Friday is the final home game of the season for the Regina Pats. Prior to the game, we will be honoring the 1973-74 Memorial Cup winning team, the 50-year anniversary of that club. We will also have our annual team awards, which will be handed out prior to the game. I'll be emceeing that ceremony prior to puck drop. But for, I guess, the sake of this broadcast and for some fun, every single year, Kevin Shaw and Chris Clark, who do a fantastic Regina Pats podcast, put together a ballot around the press box and to different members of the Brand Center staff for hockey games here with the Regina Pats. Everybody has an opportunity to vote on specific awards, and so we will, I guess, unveil those awards today. They will be posted on the PatsCast, which is available on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts as well. So Kevin and Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Just before I let you guys unveil the winners, I'll just kind of list the 8 awards that you guys do have. Most outstanding player, top forward, top defenseman, most improved player, most underrated player, biggest surprise, and top rookie, and most sportsmanlike. So those are the PatsCast awards. And if you want more information on the previous winners, head to theblueliner.com. Kevin, Chris, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for putting together these fun awards that you guys do every single year.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And yeah, like you said, we've done it, and it's just something fun. Get a little different experience and have some different opinions out there. So yeah, I thought we'd do it again this year, and yeah, we'll run through it here.
And again, this is not the official awards of the Regina Pats. This is just the PatsCast seasonal awards. You guys have done this for the last 3 years. Kevin, we'll start off with the most outstanding player. What do you got?
It's an obvious choice. All 17 ballots, Tanner Howe. Unanimous.
Yep.
Second place was Ty Spencer. He got 25 points. He had 11 second place votes. And Braxton Whitehead was in third.
Drew, your thoughts?
I think that's the 3 players that I wrote down, and sometimes it's no surprise. I guess sometimes things are no surprise, and there are some deserving players on this team. But Tanner Howe's been around for a while now. He wears the C for a reason. He's the leading scorer for a reason. So that's one that I would have expected to see.
27 goals, 75 points in 64 games this year. Leads the Pats roster in all offensive categories other than power play goals. So this year's winner of the most outstanding player for the PatsCast Awards is Tanner Howe. The previous winners, Connor Bedard, 2021-22 and 22-23. All right, the next Pats Cast Award is the top forward.
Yeah,
Chris?
and another unanimous selection of Tanner Howe. Pretty obvious category there. But also you got Spencer receiving votes and Whitehead receiving votes.
Oh, nice.
So Spencer in second with 25 and Whitehead 17 points for third place.
So he got all the first place votes?
Yeah, Tanner Howe, yeah.
I think if we had that for just the second half of the season, you could also say Sam Maremba as well, because he really turned things on after the Christmas break.
All right, moving on to our next Pats Cast Award. Top defenseman.
Corbin Vaughn.
Okay.
34 points. He got 8 first place votes, 4 second place, and 2 third place. Second place was Colton Bridgman with 26 points, 5 firsts, 4 seconds, and 3 thirds.
Wow.
Well, I think Corbin Vaughn showed us some skill that he has as well, just at that second
Right there,
period.
yeah.
That was a really, really nice wrist shot. And let's not forget, this is a guy that missed a ton of time this year, but stepped into the lineup back in the fall and had really shown us, along with brother Jackson, that they had taken a step over the offseason.
They're going to be really good by the time they're 18, 19 years old. Looking forward to seeing their development in the future. The previous winners of this award, Riker Evans and Stanislas Fulzo. So Corbin Vaughn, the winner of the 2023-24 Pats Cast Defenseman of the Year. All right, moving on to our most improved player. Chris?
All right, well, we got the other Vaughn brother, Jackson Vaughn. 26 points. It was tight, though. Aremba, 25. One behind him.
I love that one, by the way, Drew. He had 2 goals all of last year. This year he has 15 goals.
Yeah, 15. I mean, there's still an outside chance if something goes right for him that he reaches the 20-goal mark, although he'd have to score quite a bit here. But
he also missed
goals
games.
And he missed time. Just got back from a 6-game suspension. 15 goals is nothing to slouch at. That's tough to do in the Western Hockey League, especially for a younger player like Jackson Vaughn.
We are... Sorry, go ahead.
No, Aremba, 4 first place votes there, and Colton Bridgman, 4 first place votes in that category.
Wow. I honestly, I don't think you could go wrong with any of those players, by the way. The previous winners of the most improved player by the Pats Cast, Tanner Howe, Braxton Whitehead in 2021-22, Stanislas Fulzo last year. All right, most underrated player.
We have a tie.
Okay.
Anthony Wilson and Braxton Whitehead both had 14 points. Whitehead had 4 first place votes, and Wilson had 3 first place votes. Second, tied for third place was Zane Rowan at 13 points, and Spencer had 12. 17 players got a vote in that category.
That's nice to see.
10 first place votes amongst the players.
Yeah, that's one of the tougher, or that's one of the ones that, to be honest with you guys, I kind of struggled with on the names that I wrote down. Just there's so many guys you could go with.
The previous winners of this award for the most underrated player by the Pats Cast, Braxton Whitehead and Luke Bateman. All right, moving on to our biggest surprise before we get to top rookie. Biggest surprise this year is
Colton Bridgman. Yeah, that's. I don't think that isn't a surprise, but he's come a long way. But there was 9 different players with first place votes, and 14 players got voted. So, yeah, it was a tight though over Moore and Wilson, a point back and 3 points back.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Zach Morin, he had only been here for a short period of time.
Yeah, I think Zach Moore's got a bright future here, but Colton Bridgman has been, I don't want to say forced into playing a ton of minutes because he's earned them a lot of nights, but he's still a young player in this league, and he does play a lot of minutes for this Regina Pats team. And let's not forget, we talked about how not that long ago he was playing AA hockey, and now look at that, he's a heavily relied upon blue liner in the Western Hockey League.
The previous winners of the Pats Cast seasonal awards, Tanner Howe and Alexander Suzdalev. All right, top rookie this year is
Cole Temple. Another tight category. He had 5 first place votes. Colton Bridgman came in second with 6 first place votes with 25 points, and then Cristobal Huey, another 5 first place votes and 23 points overall.
Cristobal or Ewan?
Ewan.
You know, shows my age.
Hey, same with me too. So the top rookie this year, Cole Temple by the Pats Cast. It was a tight race for me. It was a really hard decision for me to make.
I'll also say, and I know he hasn't been here that long, but I put a vote down for Zach Moore.
Me too.
But I did put Cole Temple down as well.
I think
Pescott as well, especially with some of the physical play that he's brought as of late. But I've been really impressed with Zach Moore, who's obviously out with an injury right now.
And the previous winners, Tanner Howe and Alexander Suzdalev. Our final Pats Cast award, most sportsmanlike player.
Ty Spencer, 22 points, 3 firsts, 5 seconds, and 3 thirds. In second place was Ty Gibson with 19 points. four first, 3 seconds in a first or a third, and Braxton Whitehead came in third place with 17 points. 5 first place votes.
And in previous years, Boria Vallis and Sam Maremba. We're short on time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for putting together these Pats Cast seasonal awards and allowing everybody upstairs to be a part of this ballot. Looking forward to the final 3 games of the season. And again, thanks for your time, Chris and Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Kevin Shaw and Chris Clark joining us at the WHL Pats Cast. You can find their podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I listen to it on Spotify. We'll take a break. When we come back, Freeze Tallman Lumber Out of Town Scoreboard Update. You're listening to Bennett Dunlop Forward, John and Pat's Hockey on 620 CKRM.
All right. Yeah, so, you got Drew's comments and stuff, and we can maybe just run through our comments on these awards. Like, obviously, most outstanding player, top forward, Tanner Howe. That's, like you said, both unanimous selections.
We had 17 people vote. Like the two of us plus 15 other people that are the press box people, basically, is what we would call them. And all 17 voted for Howe for forward and MOP. So
yeah, and it was obvious. We said we weren't going to single anybody out or anything about your ballots, but I said, but if somebody doesn't vote Howe, maybe I'll single them out.
But I threatened people that I would throw them out of the press box.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah, I didn't need to do that. So
no.
But yeah, so Ty Spencer and Braxton Whitehead got some love too for MOP, and Spencer and Whitehead actually got some love too for best forward. So
yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious there. Those down ballot.
Exactly.
Yeah. With Berg gone, it's there wasn't really. I'm not saying those guys weren't standout players, but like Berg would have maybe battled Howe for most outstanding player, right?
Exactly.
He might have got
would have been here.
He would have had a vote, some votes, first place votes for sure.
Exactly. It wouldn't have been Howe as the unanimous choice, but Berg got traded, and Howe is by far the best forward on the Pats.
Yeah,
and the best player.
Yeah.
Leads the team in goals, assists, points. Was leader in penalty minutes until Jackson got into little scuffles lately. So
yeah. Yeah. And then defense, I think that was kind of the one that people maybe had the toughest time with.
It's actually that one and rookie and surprising, and pretty much all of the other awards were kind of toss-ups.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you look at the voting, but the best defenseman was I think the biggest surprise. Got a reaction from Drew and Dante. They both kind of like, what?
Yeah. Well, Corbin Vaughn, I mean, he is clearly the best defenseman on this team.
Yes.
You even see it in the game tonight, the Moose Jaw game, like that goal he scored, like
beautiful.
He mentioned he's been working on his offensive game a little bit, and that was a really nice goal. But I mean, it wasn't even that close. I thought maybe it'd be a little tighter, this one, compared to maybe some of the other ones that were tight.
But the surprise to me too, well, not really a surprise because we've watched all the games, is Bridgman coming in second.
Yeah.
Like a 17, two 17s, first and second.
Yeah, that's your top pairing.
And Vaughn has missed, exactly, and Vaughn missed half the season.
He missed a lot of time, but
so,
I mean,
and it just so happens that a player that's no longer with the Pats got a first place vote. Parker Berg got first place. And Tyson Buchkowski, who's played his 8th game and 9th game this weekend, he got a first, a second, and a third. So
yeah, so people like some of the guys, the younger guys.
Or no offense to, I don't know, I didn't keep track. I didn't care who voted. It was just they just didn't want to give the votes to a 20, or they were looking at his plus minus because he's like plus 11. So
that's true. Yeah,
that's probably a key to it. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Corbin Vaughn is the best defenseman on the Pats. Bridgman is the second best defenseman, and they're the future. So
yeah, no, that's definitely right. Then you go most improved player. So you get Jackson Vaughn in this one, and this one was pretty tight with Sam Marimba a point behind.
Yeah.
It was, This one was a little like how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 players got votes on this one. So
12 different players got votes. Yep.
yeah. So that's it's good to see. And then Bridgman was third, 10 points behind Aremba.
Aremba and Bridgman both had 4 first place votes, but Jackson had 2 firsts, 9 seconds, and 2 thirds.
Yeah. So more people voted Aremba and Bridgman for first, but
Jackson was on 13 ballots.
Yeah,
which is
key.
Pretty awesome. So that means something.
Yeah, for sure.
Aremba was on 12, so like that means something, that these guys were being watched and people took notice.
And like Spencer only got 3 votes, first, second, third, but he could have been up there too, right? Like he really broke out in the second half. Like there was no wrong answer, right?
But I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like to be the improved, like he was expected to be a goal scorer. So I don't think that
he just had a slow start, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We even talked about Bedard having a slow start. Well, was he the most improved player this season? You know, last season, right? Like we even talked about that a bit. But most underrated player. Again, this was a long ballot.
Yes, 17 players got votes. It was unbelievable looking through, and like there's a lot of people that got noticed, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's just kind of your opinion. So,
yeah, exactly.
And then the tie, Whitehead and Wilson. You weren't too happy. Oh, now I got to do
I
this
was like,
graphic with 2 players.
No, it wasn't so much the graphic. I just don't like ties. I like to have one player get the win.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But
yeah, it was.
It worked out really well that every award went to somebody different except for those 2 for Howe.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. It just shows what kind of year it is, what kind of team the people see. There's a whole bunch of different pieces, so maybe if they can gel again for next year, maybe they can take a step.
Yeah.
Other teams are going to take a step back, over the past can take a step forward.
Mm-hmm. Biggest surprise, Colton Bridgman. I think that's
a fair one.
Yeah, and it was tight. Zach Moore was 1 point behind him. But Colton, he played. You know, Zach Moore's only been here a little bit, but Bridgman's played the whole season, and you can see his kind of growth already. He could have been up there as one of the most improved players as well.
Exactly, 100%.
But he's just looks solid. Like nothing flashy, but he's just kind of just getting the job done as well as he can as a 17-year-old playing defense in this league, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's easier.
Some
to
nights
hide.
he was one of the ones actually playing defense compared to the other guys. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and obviously being undrafted, just a list player, you don't know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So, there's lots of guys out there that, takes a couple more years. They're little late bloomers, right? So
for sure.
And he's got to grow into his body and everything. Like he's a big boy already. So
yeah, he's quick. He's big. He's going to be good in the next year or two. So that's good. They've got him for a couple more years for sure.
Yeah. Most sportsmanlike player, Ty Spencer. I can't remember how many penalty minutes he had, but not too many.
No.
Gibson, 6 penalty minutes. Like that's crazy for a guy that
for defenseman.
Yeah. For a guy that plays a lot of minutes, like he's a 20. He plays a lot of minutes. He played a lot in Everett and obviously a lot here too. So that's I mean, yes, he is a smaller guy, so he isn't throwing big hits and running into some penalties there. But
yeah, that was another close vote. Like. Mm-hmm. Spencer with 22 points, Gibson with 19, Whitehead and Aremba with 17. So like that's close.
Yeah.
There was 2 votes that really kind of baffled me a teeny little bit. Tanner Howe got a first and a second.
Yeah.
Which
second.
He was leading the team in penalty minutes basically when we put the ballot out. So maybe sportsmanlike off the ice. Maybe he's one of those guys like that kind of sportsmanlike. Because usually sportsmanlike usually means like no penalties.
Yeah.
Or like the Pats voting Matthew Keeper to be a sportsmanlike player when he played half the games a couple seasons ago. It just still baffles my brain.
Yeah.
And Corbin Vaughn got a 3rd place vote.
Punching guys face in. That's sportsmanlike, right?
Exactly. He didn't totally punch it in, so maybe that's the sportsmanlike part.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like some of these votes made me laugh. I'm not judging. It's people's opinions.
Yeah.
Like, you get some random Hall of Fame ballots in the States that are wacky and wild. So we expected stuff here.
You'll hear from Howe in a little bit here, and what player he is emulating his game after, and he's less than sportsmanlike as well. So
yes,
and you can see his game when you hear who he mentions. So
he's not quite as bad.
No, he isn't
yet.
But you can see
he's still young.
He does certain things. Like I remember him laying in the crease one time, and he just put his arm on the goalie's pad. He was leaning on it like it was a couch, and the goalie was like pushing him off. And there was one other time he sat down on the opposing team's bench. He kind of got pushed in the open door, so he just sat down on the bench.
Which is as he's getting older, he seems to be getting a little more mature. So maybe he needs to get the maturity level down a little bit again to make it a little more aggressive. I don't know.
All right, let's move along here. Cole Temple, top rookie.
This was another really, really close one.
Yeah, like Colton Bridgman got 6 firsts. Cole got 5 firsts, and then Huey got 5 firsts as well. So it was 28, 25, 23, Temple, Bridgman, Huey. That was you and Huey, not Cristobal, as I mentioned. So, but yeah, no, I mean, Allman had quite a few votes in there. He's come along quite well this season.
Yeah, he's on a 4-game point streak right now, which is unbelievable for someone that has been having limited ice time until recently. So now he's getting a chance to play, stepping up for his teammates and stuff. So playing for next year.
Anything else from the awards?
No, that's good enough for me.
Throw our opinions in.
Check out the full details on theblueliner.com. My website. I'm trying to bring it back. I used to blog years ago, and I kind of let it go for the last few years. But now I'm trying to rejuvenate it, so you can find out all the award winners on there, and the point breakdown and everything.
Yeah, the full balloting. So, yeah, with that, we should move on to our interview. We got Tanner Howe. We sat down with him after Friday's game. He wasn't too sure what to expect. He, a younger guy. Some of his interviews, like even last year, weren't the greatest. Like he had some shorter answers, but he's come along. Obviously, more experienced now. He's went to the top prospects game, so he probably got interviewed a ton there by NHL teams. So he's come a long way, and
he's the captain, so he's doing a little bit extra media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and he's like I said, he's maturing. Even like I haven't talked to him. It was the first time I really talked to him, and he's matured since last year. He's become the face, so he's probably had to learn to be more mature.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it seems it was fun to talk to.
Yeah, no, I think it turned out another great interview. But yeah, so we'll roll that one now.
All right, we're pleased to welcome on Tanner Howe of your Regina Pats. Welcome, Tanner.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, just a little sit down here, talk about you, your journey in hockey, journey to the Pats, etc. So, born and raised in PA?
Yeah. Grew up in PA, so.
Family. Did you have other siblings?
Yeah, I got a older sister. She's in school right now. And a younger brother. He's 14. He's playing hockey in PA, so.
Yeah, is he the next WHL star?
I don't know about next, but yeah, he's pretty good. He got off to a good start this year and broke his jaw midway through, but he got to come back for playoffs, and he should be pretty good. So.
Yeah. Is your sister in any sports?
No, she played like sports when she was younger. She played ringette and volleyball and all those stuff, but not anymore.
So was hockey your main goal when you were younger? Did you play hockey? Did you play other sports like soccer or football or anything like that, or was hockey your main thing?
Yeah, I mean, I always played hockey and kind of treated it like it was my main thing, but I played lots of sports. I mean, in elementary school, you play basketball and all that stuff, but I played lacrosse all the way up till I was 16, so I love lacrosse and it was very fun, but when I was 16, kind of didn't want to risk an injury, and it set me out for the summer, so I kind of gave that up and just...
Box lacrosse?
Yeah, box. Nice.
How did that translate to your hockey game? Or how did that help your hockey game?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot, and like that aggressiveness and stuff. Like we watch the games, and guys are two-handing each other cross check and like running after each other and wanting to kill the guy. So I think it's just like aggressiveness and obviously that cardio of running the whole game. So.
Did you play all your minor hockey in PA?
Yeah, all in PA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you always a forward?
Yeah, like I was always forward unless we were like blowing a team out. I'd hop to defense. Just my dad would always want me to learn that, the D zone and all that stuff, and looking up ice, kind of finding guys. But yeah, always mainly really forward.
It's translated into your WHL game. You're a 200-foot player.
Yeah, it's something my dad kind of pushed at me at a young age, so I was thankful for that.
Nice. Did you ever strap on the pads for a game when you were little?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe like IP when everyone's got to take a rotation. But yeah, I never was really a goalie. I don't enjoy pucks coming at me left and right. So.
How influential were your parents into your hockey career?
Yeah, I think tons. I think my dad, he coached me all the way up to Bantam. So he took it serious at home. He was always showing me video and stuff like that. And I think he's helped me so much. And I mean, both my parents have they motivate me each and every day still. So yeah.
Was it a good thing having your dad as a coach or not? Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad.
Yeah, I think for some people it can be good and bad, but I think for me it was good. I think he knows the game pretty good, so I think all the things he's kind of taught me and told me, I think they've all kind of worked out, and I think sometimes he can be a little hard on you, but you need that once in a while, so I think it was good for me.
What was his background in hockey?
Yeah, he played all the way up to like midget, I think.
Okay.
Not too far,
yeah.
but yeah.
Do you have any favorite like minor hockey memories, or a memory?
Yeah, I don't know a memory, but I remember Adam. We won like the league or whatever, and that was pretty fun. It was like with Brain Yeager off Moose Shaw, and we had a pretty good team, so I think that was fun.
Raiders fan growing up?
Yeah, I love the Raiders. I think we had season tickets since I was a little kid, so I don't think I've maybe missed 10 games all growing up. So,
how memorable was that championship run there?
It was insane. I looked forward to going every night. It was the best thing ever. And I mean, seeing that building so loud and I mean packed with fans and people standing on milk crates to get a better view and stuff. And yeah, when they scored that game-winning goal, is insanely loud. So it was cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, we were here. We were that close, but we weren't able to experience that championship win. But it is PA. Like when you go into that rink, like obviously you there, but going in as a visitor now, like there's just something about going into PA, isn't there? It's it seems smaller. The ice is the same size, but it just seems smaller. And the PA, no matter who they have, it seems like they just play a PA style of game, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's always tough to go to PA and come out with a win. I mean, they play the right way and they play a hard game, and I think it just when you go into that rink, it looks like a small ice and they're always on top of you, so it's kind of hard to find space. But yeah, they're a good team, and I forget who their coach is.
Truitt.
Yeah, Truitt. He coached me at U18 actually, but yeah, he has those guys on the right path, and I think he's a really good coach. So.
Once you realized hockey was going to be your thing, did you want to play in the Western Hockey League, or did you have other aspirations like college or whatever?
Yeah, I think in Bantam I was kind of a smaller guy. I think I was like 5'2", 130 pounds maybe, and always thought about going college. I mean, just kind of being a smaller guy. I mean, those guys sometimes don't make the league just because it's a hard physical league. So I think I had thoughts and stuff like that to go NCAA. And I was actually in Weyburn for 2 months practicing with them, thinking I was going to go there, and then kind of just got a call, and they wanted me to sign, so I kind of talked about it with my family and took advantage of it, so happy I did that.
What did you think about Regina drafting you?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I think, it's close to home, which is nice. I think my parents come to all the weekend games that were here tonight, so it's nice to be close to home, and I think it's a very good top-class organization. I think everything's done professionally, and obviously the fans are really good too. So yeah, it was nice to be selected by them.
I know John Paddock mentioned that you had a little bit of a growth spurt between the draft and joining the hub. He said he almost didn't recognize you. Mm-hmm. Was that did that help your game getting to this WHL level? Yeah,
I think when I was in Weyburn, he didn't see me since I got drafted, so I was there, and that was over the summer. Then he called me in to kind of ask if I wanted to sign with the team and stuff, and I remember coming outside, walking in, and he thought it was my brother. So, but yeah, I think that helped me a lot. I think that growth spurt helped me a lot, and just kind of getting bigger and stronger and be able to play physical out there.
going back to the draft, was there any other teams interested? You don't have to name them or anything, but did there seem to be quite a bit of interest in you?
I wouldn't say there was too much. Not as much as I hear other guys talk about it. But, yeah, I think, like I said, I was a smaller guy who was 50-50 with what I was going to do. So I think teams kind of maybe brought that to note. But, yeah, there wasn't too much, I'd say.
Did you have much contact with the Pats before you got drafted?
I think I didn't get a questionnaire. I think maybe just a phone call a couple of days before. But, yeah, I think they watched me throughout the season. My kind of dad saw him in this crowd or whatnot. But
so you weren't too surprised that you got picked?
Like I said, I didn't really talk to a lot of teams, so I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was complete clueless where I was gonna go, or even if I was gonna go. So, I was pretty pumped to kind of see that on my phone when I got picked. So.
Were you following the draft online, like on the phone or whatever?
Yeah, me and my parents were at home, and my brother and sister, so it was pretty cool.
How about making your debut in the hub there?
Yeah,
How
I
was
think
that?
it was cool to kind of get the chance. It was. I would say kind of lucky because Connor went to, I think, U18s there, I think it was. So it was luckily I kind of got the call in. But, yeah, it was nice to kind of play at 15, get a little taste of it and see what it's all about and to see what those guys do on a daily basis. And kind of, I think it helped me for the summer too, just to kind of training on what I need to be and how big I need to be. So I think it was pretty cool.
What was it like joining the hub near the end or like halfway through?
Yeah, it was a little weird because I had to, once I got here, I had to quarantine for about 7 days. So it was just being in my room and just kind of doing nothing, trying to do as many workouts as you can do. But it got pretty lonely. But once I was out of there, it was kind of nice to meet the team and kind of get on the ice again. And I think it was really fun, I thought. So
Picking up your first goal, how was that?
Yeah, it was sweet. I think it took me 8 games. But, yeah, it was nice. And I think it was against Braden Schneider on their team, and he's from PA. So it was funny how that worked out. But, yeah, it was nice to kind of get that first goal.
It was unfortunate it was an empty building, though, hey?
Yeah, there's just the siren you heard, no fans. But, yeah, it was fun.
So playing in the hub, how has that affected your game? Like, because that year was pretty much a write-off for most players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how has that affected your game now?
Yeah, I think it honestly helped me out. I think just getting that taste, like I said, and seeing what it's all about. And, a lot of guys don't get the chance to play when you're 15. So I think it helped me out and kind of helped me out to see what it was all about and kind of prepare myself.
Growing up, who was your favorite team and player?
I think Edmonton was always my team. I think it was really the only NHL team I kind of went to watch in Edmonton. So I think, yeah, they've always been my favorite. But favorite player growing up wasn't on Edmonton. It was probably like Brad Marchand. Mm-hmm. I think I watched him a lot. I love how he plays. It's awesome. So, yeah, I think he's always kind of been my player.
Do you tend to pattern your game kind of after him a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, not that advanced, but I think I try to be a little pesty out there and get under guys' skin. I think it works. So I think I watch his game a lot.
You haven't licked anybody yet.
No, yeah, that's why I said not advanced. Yeah.
Do you have a pre-game go-to meal?
Chicken rice and veggies. It's pretty simple, but yeah, I love chicken rice. So.
What about pre-game superstitions? Do you have anything like dress a certain way every game, that kind of stuff? Do you have a certain time to nap or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super superstitious at all. I mean, I get to the rink around 4 and I kind of just do the same thing every day. I think it's just coming to the rink and doing that, get my body ready. But I mean, I don't do anything like how I take my stick or anything super bad. So.
What's your intermission routine? You sit down, relax, or you do anything special there?
Yeah, I kind of take my top off and then go to the bathroom, kind of just put some cold water on my head, kind of just cool down and just kind of visualize and get ready.
Yeah. Taping your stick, how do you tape it? Heel to toe, toe to heel?
I go heel to toe usually. Like I said, I'm not superstitious. I can go black or white. It doesn't really bother me if I'm not playing good.
Sticks before.
Yeah, I think I used the white stick, and that wasn't really it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not superstitious at all. So.
Okay, with the jerseys, do you prefer the traditional blue and whites or the alternate red and whites?
That's a tough one. I think blue and white. I think it's just the original. I think it'd be cool if the brought back that Bulldog one.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty sweet jersey out of all the jerseys. So I think, but yeah, like you said, I think the blue and white ones are probably my favorite.
Yeah. 43. Did you pick that, or any reason for that?
I showed up to my first game and 43 was in my stall. So.
Yes, social media post with the meals that one day when the hub was going on, I had 43. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's how.
Yeah. I was kind of just giving it to it and kind of stuck with it. I don't mind it. So.
No. Yeah, you wear 7. You wore 7 for Team Canada, so I don't know if there was a. You can't wear 7 here, obviously.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too sure if that was
4 threes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, I was kind of always like 4, 6, or 9. So it was always a low number, but yeah.
Do you have a favorite bus activity?
Playing cards. I think us and 5 other guys love to play cards, so I think it gets pretty intense on the bus, and it's always fun. And
Chase the ace?
Yes. Yeah. How do you know?
Braxton mentioned.
I think Braxton brought it up.
Yeah. Chase the ace or 31 or nothing too crazy. No gambling.
Who brought in Chase the ace?
I think it was that game after Edmonton. We had. I think it was Christmas break. We had like 8 hours to do nothing. So I think someone had cards in their bag. And just kind of all got together, and I think Chase the Ace is one of the easiest games, so everyone knew it. So
I just learned it from Bridgman's actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Are you into TV or movies or anything like that? Do you have like a current TV show or a favorite movie lately that you've watched?
Yeah, I don't really watch TV unless it's a hockey game or something like that. I'm not too serious on that stuff. But I think I've watched Prison Break. I think that's a good one. I've probably watched it 3 times now, so it's
nice.
I love that
It's a good
one.
series.
Yeah.
What about music? You like a certain kind of music or favorite band or singer or whatever?
Yeah, I like country. I think Zach Bryan's good, Morgan Wallen, all those guys. But yeah, mostly country.
Summertime, off-ice hobbies. What do you like to do in the summer?
Yeah, I love fishing. Me and my family usually go out and kind of get a week trip long of fishing up north. But other than that, I like golfing with my buddies, kind of playing pickleball, tennis, just kind of being outdoors. But yeah, fishing is probably the go-to.
Yeah, fishing's the thing to do up north, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of big lakes up there that have a lot of big fish, so it makes it fun.
In the wintertime, do you ice fish when you have a chance?
At Christmas.
And when you break?
Yeah, we go pretty much every day, so it's fun.
Nice.
So what's your biggest catch?
Oh, biggest catch? I wouldn't say too big, but a jackfish probably 15 pounds maybe. But yeah, nothing like crazy big, I'd say.
Yeah, do you eat them? Is there certain ones you like to prepare?
Yeah, we eat walleye usually, but not really jackfish. We just kind of, if the walleye's a keeper, we usually cook it up and have a fish fry that night, which is nice.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dante, and he says you like cooking or you're a good cook.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I love cooking. I think kind of just growing up, my parents always were at work before I went to school. I actually lived close to the school, so I'd walk there. So I'd wake up early, kind of make myself breakfast, and kind of just after that, I've done it every day. And yeah, I chef up a pretty good omelet. So
omelet's your go-to?
Yeah, I love omelets, and yeah, I love making something in the mornings.
Nice.
Well, that's a good adult thing to get on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
After hockey, whenever that is, what's kind of your interest? Anything you got in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I'd say like even next year taking on some university classes. I think police officer or something like that. I think that would be pretty neat. Getting to see all the scenarios that go through every night and kind of all the crazy stuff that happens and see what really goes on. I think that'd be pretty cool and something that interests me.
Yeah. This season being your draft year, have you approached it any differently than you have the last couple of years?
No, I don't really think so. I think that's just kind of the thing that happens at the end, kind of focus on the team and my game and kind of doing everything I can to help this team win. And just not really focused on it at all until really after the season, I'd say.
Yeah, so you haven't been checking out the rankings or anything. You just keep that back your.
Yeah. I don't really check at those. I think ultimately they don't really have a pick in the draft. So I mean, what's the check? So.
Where you go, you go. Hey?
Yeah, exactly.
No preferences.
No, I wouldn't say so. No.
It's good not to say, right?
Yeah. I mean, anywhere would be pretty cool. So.
How did it feel being named the captain of the Pats?
Yeah, it was sweet. I think when we went to Memories and kind of that got announced, it was pretty cool, and I was really grateful and honored. I mean, one of the youngest to do it, so I think that was pretty special. And it's such a top-class organization, like I said, so it's even better, and loved it so far. So.
How did it feel taking over from Connor?
Yeah, I mean, a little tough to hold his expectations, but obviously he did such a great job last year. So it's getting to learn from someone like that helped me so much with that too. So I think big credit goes to him.
It seems like you guys were really, really close, I guess, like on and off the ice, was it?
Yeah, for sure. We were really close. I sat together on the bus and things like that. We lived close together, so it was nice. And he's such a fabulous person. He's so grateful and caring, and he's supportive, and still texts me how the season going and stuff like that. So I mean, it was pretty cool to play with him and be able to be with him each and every day. So it was awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
for coming.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for
Thanks
joining
for
us.
time. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. That's about all we got this week. It's a lot, I think. And you got, awards and a couple games and another great interview with Howe there. Should probably get out. Any closing thoughts this week, Kevin?
No. Well, we got 3 more games in the season. Wednesday in PA, Friday Brandon here, and then Saturday in Moose Jaw. Friday is the fan appreciation night, team poster night, and they're throwing everything at once. They're honoring the 50th anniversary of the last Pats Memorial Cup, which, in my opinion, should have got its own game.
Totally, 100%.
But for whatever reason,
it's just
I'm going to
slammed.
rant about it next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to rant
Save
about
it.
it. I'm promising I'm going to rant about it. People may not like me after this, but I'm going to rant about it. That's it for me this week.
All right. Well, with that, we can get out of here. So, all right. Have a good night, folks.
Take it easy.